This is a short story about how to take data that's in LoggerPro and put it into Excel. Because some people like linearizing in Excel instead of in LoggerPro. Few people in the class have mentioned that they used Excel in high school and they liked it then. So here's some data that I have. You can imagine it's for something that's falling. So as time evolves, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds, the altitude of what you're measuring decreases. So it goes down, it falls. And this data is a little different than before because it's negative with time. But I want to point out that there still is a curve. So it looks like a parabola. So I think there should be some kind of squared term, maybe time squared, and maybe the linearization will appear. So what I'm going to do is take my data and I'm going to copy it by clicking and dragging over all the points. And then I can edit, copy, and then I can go into Microsoft Excel and paste. Now notice that in Excel, so paste is Control V. If you just paste it, you don't really get what you want. So instead you should click the Properties button and paste special as text. And now you have two columns. There's lots of options for stuff like this in Excel. Also note that you don't have any labels. So this is time and this is Y. And of course I remember that things are in meters. So again, looking in Logger Pro, it's a parabola. I think I should square time and see what happens. So I'm going to have time squared, and then in Excel, you can type in an equal sign, and then just like in Logger Pro, you can make a calculated column. So it's going to be that squared. And then again, if you've worked with Excel before, you can remember that you can copy a formula and paste it in many places. And then finally, given a data set, you can insert a graph. So that is under Insert. The only graph we ever make in this class is a XY scatter graph. You need to choose the data. And the data I'm going to use has X values of time squared and Y values of Y, ironically. So there we go. That is what my linearization looks like. And note, I've got a nice straight line. Excel doesn't default to making good graphs, so you'll need to do a few things to make it nicer. Specifically, there are some quick format buttons. Just a minute. Took me a minute to find it, so quick layout. And then obviously we want to label both axes and have something like graph paper. So this isn't a horrible layout. So remember, this is time squared. This is altitude in meters. So if I want to do a really good job with this label, I should say it's measured in seconds squared. And then the final thing that you might want to do is add a trend line, which you can do right here. And of course, if you're going to add a trend line, you really ought to display the equation as well. And that is right here. There's the equation. So note as well that Excel isn't doing a good job. It's up to you to say that altitude is Y, that time squared is X, and you can of course interpret that there's this slope of -1 meter per second squared. So Excel is another way of linearizing graphs, which is finding a relationship between two variables.